Hi, Mike from Ontario Speed Dating. I have to say, before I speak, it's quite bright out here, so my eyes are half closed, you know why. So, I'm starting to see online that people don't even know how to spend money anymore. I've seen it across the board. First of all, I look at my competitors on Eventbrite, including competitors that don't show proper listings on Google. And I see, they have lots of repeat customers. Tickets are going fast. Meanwhile, I'm not hardly selling anything, yet my prices are 2 to 3 times lower than the competitors. So, what is the problem with the people these days? Because I look at videos on YouTube, and some of them are like talking about how people are spending on things that they don't even need, just what they want. Like this one guy on YouTube that just recently put up a video, he says like how people just don't prioritize their money properly. Like, if you really need something, go ahead, put your money to it. And when I say need, I'm talking about food. Something where you don't even starve afterwards. That kind of need. But the problem with the others, with the people out there, is that they're all about the wants. Mistaking the wants for the needs, basically. And they're doing that, I don't know why, but it's like, what is it, social conditioning, that if they go on Facebook and they see somebody with fancy stuff, that they feel like they gotta buy it themselves to feel accepted into the normal Facebook society. Is this how people behave nowadays? Because if people keep having that attitude where they gotta keep spending and spending to look like their model per se, then there's gonna be far more people in debt than you can count. I could imagine that by this summer, probably 90% of the world will be in so much debt, it's unreal. Heck, even somebody on YouTube said, what was it? People are in, I don't know how many billion or trillion debt, but he said that at least a good half of it was on credit card debt alone, just credit cards. Like, why are people just maxing out blindly on their credit cards? What? To feel like they're being special against their idol on Facebook or Instagram or whatever they're in? Pretty sad. So if people don't smarten up, next thing you know, I probably go down under, because I'm the one charging lower ticket prices, less than $30 a ticket to any of my speed dating events. And people should think to spend a little less to go into one, because it's hard to find somebody, especially with inflated prices and people not affording anything. And I think there's a stat that said that marriage, people get divorced, one of the big reasons is money. So people should think to spend a little less money on speed dating, and then to think about uniting. Why would you go to a competitor? Like, I've seen competitors on Eventbrite now. My God. One wanted 67 and another one wanted 70. Well, that's after they calculate their prices and taxes and stuff included. Me, I don't charge tax. I bear the tax myself. The only thing I do charge, which, don't slap me silly for it, I have good reason. The only thing I do charge at refund time is a small service fee, and right now it's at $1.60 per ticket. Why? Because my credit card companies charge me that kind of money. Well, almost. But I feel like I deserve something for myself, for all this hard work I'm doing, for all these videos I've been putting on YouTube and Rumble, for the website I constantly maintain, and to see that people don't even bother buying. Well, I do have some customers. I'm not going to knock myself too hard, but I'm just saying, to see that not enough people are buying tickets. It's just sad, and it's been happening for a year. But today, it really struck me something, because past few months, or should I say few weeks, Donald Trump, the president of the USA, he's starting his own whole tariff madness out there, which means anytime something gets imported to US, it gets taxed. And then I hear that Google is going to be renaming provincial parks to state parks. So in a sense, if it's really true what CBC's saying about Google, maybe Trump is owning Google. Because he did say to the public that he wanted to make Canada the 51st state. Well, in one sense I can sympathize with them, because Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau isn't all that great. I got a bone to pick with that guy, but I'm not going to say it here because that's out of the subject. But what I'm trying to say is, people have to realize that money doesn't grow on trees. Money is something you gotta earn, and just because you have a credit card doesn't mean you go crazy. And yeah, about that video, another thing. Excuse me. Sorry, that was a random cough. Another thing about that video that really struck me. He said that people were in bankruptcy for a while, and he says that the people who were just got out of bankruptcy, those people say that the most thing they were proud of when getting out of bankruptcy is access to credit. Really? Access to credit can be a scary thing, actually. I mean, it's good and it's scary. It's scary because if you treat it as if it's your money permanently, you're going to be up the creek with all those interest charges again. So, you're going to be up the creek with interest. But the only way I could see it being a good thing, access to credit, is if you had a one-time emergency that you needed money instantly, and in a matter of days you can pay the whole thing back right off. That's particularly good if you have a credit card that gives you rewards every time you spend something on it. At least in that way, you use the card like that, you'll make some money off the card. But the way people are doing it, they're just like swiping it as if it's their own money. It's not your money, it's the bank's money. You gotta realize that. A credit card is the bank's money, and every time you use the credit card, you're literally borrowing the money from the bank, and you gotta pay it back. So, and then today, I was gonna say this earlier, but I say it now. Today, I was at a venue. Visited one today that I'm still trying to run events at. And you know what the owner said? The owner said that the past few days, he was struggling business-wise. Yet, the years ago at this time, he was doing well. So it makes me wonder if all these layoffs and such going on is impacting him as well, because, when people get laid off, they probably max out their credit card like crazy, then they find they're in tons of debt, and then they can't afford to do anything after that, while still being hammered by the creditors. I know, it's a vicious cycle out there. But the least the people can do is try my events, especially when the price is low. I'm not asking for much. I'm even also looking at accepting cash too. Already I'm accepting credit cards, debit cards, Interac e-transfers. And I did notice some people love PayPal, but I actually don't. Because with PayPal, you gotta wait up to 21 days to get your payment if they pay you through PayPal. The problem with that is, if the person buys a ticket right before the event time is cut off, and I can't run the event, I want to refund that. I want to be able to refund that person right away, not wait 21 days to refund the person. I know it's a crazy video, but I hope people do realize that spending is out of control. Well, seems like it for a lot of people. And I hope people would think about how they utilize their money. Because if they don't think, things are going to get real tough. That's all for today. Bye-bye.